Bula everyone, my name's Deborah Dixon-Smith. I'm from Diveplanit. I'm joined here by Simon Mallender, also from Diveplanit. We thought it would be a great idea to run a webinar to show people, now that borders are opening, well, the Fiji border specifically, just how easy it is to book a dive holiday in Fiji. The Fiji government and Tourism Fiji have done an amazing job to make their country safe to visit, and an incredible job also of getting resorts and tourism operators ready to welcome guests safely, manage all the testing protocols that need to be done through their Care Fiji commitment program. And you will have all seen the emotional footage of the first visitors to Fiji this month, and everything so far has been going incredibly smoothly. So I'm going to start by introducing our panelists. We have Salman Ali, the Trade Marketing Officer for Tourism Fiji, Simon Doughty from Volivoli Beach Resort, Natalie Marletta from the Pearl Fiji in Pacific Harbour, and Jackie Charlton from Captain Cook Cruises Fiji.
Hello everyone.
So first of all, I'm going to hand over to Salman to present to you the Care Fiji commitment and to welcome you to Fiji.
Hello everyone. As Deb has mentioned, my name is Salman, so I'll be talking to you guys about what Fiji has done in terms of getting visitors back to the islands. As you all know, with the pandemic, our borders were closed and we had no tourism in Fiji. So what we did, we came up with the Care Fiji commitment program that assures the traveler safety, that all our travelers will be safe when they're in Fiji, just because of the enhanced safety, the standards of health and safety. So it's a two-way commitment that we came up with. It's Fiji's commitment to your safety, as well as you play a role in keeping yourself and our local Fijians safe as well. So this program was developed in line with World Health Organization, as well as with relevant stakeholders, consultation and government bodies, as well as Aspen Medical. So that's where we have this certification program where each property, each resort, each excursion, each transfer company, they are all certified, approved, and are supposed to be providing all that safety assurance for our travelers. As you all know, that when our PM announced that Fiji will be opening its borders on December 1st, and everything needs to be Care Fiji committed. So all our guests must be engaging with Care Fiji committed businesses, whether it be accommodation, activities, or transfers. Just to let you guys know that Fiji was declared a safe travel destination by the World Travel and Tourism Council, as Fiji assures the travelers that our protocols are safe. So when I've mentioned about the two-way commitment, it's our commitment. So when we say our commitment, it means that we have our fully vaccinated staffs and visitors with the best practices, hygiene practices across the businesses. This comes with the 2-meter physical distancing, hand sanitization, as well as each property has a wellness ambassador on site. If anything happens, then there is a contact person at the resort, at the activities, at the excursions, who you can reach out to. And not forgetting that Fiji has a contact tracing app called the Care Fiji app. So that's how we can we can keep track of the movements if there is a potential COVID case. That's our assurance, but then our visitors play a role as well when it comes to ensuring that you meet the COVID-19 testing and vaccination. So you need to be fully vaccinated. You need to have a negative PCR test upon arrival as well when it comes to visiting Fiji. Just one of the other way you play a role is that you have to ensure that you are not traveling if you're feeling unwell. You have to follow those protocols, avoid low vaccination areas in Fiji, and following all the protocols that we have in line. When you come to Fiji, you'll have signage posters all visible throughout your journey, as soon as you get on a plane, arrive in Fiji, you'll have the Care Fiji commitment programs all visible throughout. So just to let you guys know that Fiji at the moment has a really good high percentage of vaccination, with 91.4% of the target population fully vaccinated, and 97.6% of the target population have got their first vaccination. So with that program, we just want to say that Fiji is open, but to travel partner countries, and it is not quarantine, it's quarantine-free travel. So guests can travel to Fiji. They don't have to quarantine. They have to follow the Care Fiji commitment protocols, and they can also engage in activities, excursions. So it is not quarantine when we say that you have to stay at a resort, CFC resort for 3 nights. It is not quarantine. You can always do activities. You can always stay at the Pearl or the Volivoli and go dive with big adventure divers, or go dive with one of the operators. So it is not quarantine. It is that you have to stay in the Care Fiji committed lane. So when I say Care Fiji committed lane, it means as soon as you arrive in Fiji, you have to be transported from the airport to your resort through Care Fiji committed travel transport provider. Either it can be Pacific Destination, Rosie's, Vehicle, tour managers, TTF, whichever one is there. So you have to provide all those details prior to traveling. So you have to have the documents that are there, and this needs to be that you have to be from a travel partner countries. Good news, Australia is there, New Zealand is there, UK is there, and all the other information can be found on the page that I have listed at the bottom of this slide. You have to provide a negative RT-PCR test 72 hours prior to your flight. You need to be fully vaccinated. You need to download and use the Care Fiji app while in Fiji, and also while you're leaving Fiji, you need to produce a negative test to return to your home country. One of the things that I've mentioned at the bottom is that you need to have travel insurance. It is mandatory, just because if anything happens, the insurance is able to cover. Fiji Care is providing this insurance. If there's anything, you can always get the Fiji Care insurance, so that you are assured that if anything happens, you'll be covered in there. So when I say fully vaccinated, it means 18 years and over with Fiji recognized vaccine, and this includes AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. Yep. So I'll just move on to so this was what these are the entry requirements. So at the moment, these things stays, but things may change as and when there's a progress by the government. So we came up with the Fiji's Open campaign, and then as soon as these announcements were done by PM, so we came up with the campaign called Open for Happiness. As you all know, you may have seen videos online on our social channels, on the media, that there's many destinations who are reopening. So we needed to do something to make sure that Destination Fiji stands out from the others, to elevate the profile of Fiji across the global markets. So with this challenge, we came up with our ambassador, with the face of Tourism Fiji, and it was Rebel Wilson, who was the ambassador to share the love of Fiji to the world. So here, Rebel Wilson plays the role of a tourist coming to Fiji, falling in love with the warmth and the hospitality, especially the Buddha spirit and the beautiful Fiji Islands. So I'll just let Deborah to play the video for you all, and then just have a look at it. And if you guys have any questions, please reach out to under the Q&A section with us. Naka. Deb, over to you to share the video, please. I think it's muted.
Well, ambition. Searching for something or someone that will make you happy? Well, the question is happiness something that you can actually find? Ula. And how do you know if you found it? And how long will it last? Ula. No, I've still got a whole monologue to do.
That is Rebel Wilson. Who's Rebel Wilson? She's an actress. Actress?
Instead of searching for happiness, is it simply better to open ourselves up to, what's that word? Ula. Are we better to put ourselves in a place where happiness finds you? Wait, Steve? This is so random. I know, I came here too. Fiji! How long did it take you to get here?
Okay. Thanks, Salman, for that presentation summarizing all of the requirements to get into Fiji. It's just quite amazing the job that you guys have done to welcome visitors back to Fiji, and the vaccination rate as well is very impressive. I think it's higher than ours. So I'm going to hand over next to Jackie Charlton from Captain Cook Cruises. The idea with this webinar was to introduce a few different dive operators, resorts, and liveaboards as well, just to show you a snapshot of obviously the diving niche of these regions, but also how each of these various tourism operators are managing the testing process for their guests. Jackie has had one of the biggest challenges, I suppose, being the general manager of a cruise company, and I'm just going to hand over to you, Jackie, so you can talk about the amazing cruises that you do around the Fiji Islands. Thanks, Jackie.
Oh, thanks so much, Deb. You know, we're very lucky we've had Tourism Fiji behind the planning here, because it's made a big difference to how Fiji is handled compared to a lot of the other countries around the world. Now, Captain Cook Cruises was started or founded by my parents in Fiji in 1996, and we've got a wonderful Fiji partner there. We very much are a family operated business. We cater for virtually every client from 5 to 95, and diving is a core part of our business. So as well as having the most amazing fleet of vessels, we also have a wonderful island called Tavua Island, and the incredible Reawa advanced wreck dive out there, as well as fantastic 500 acres of protected waters around the island that makes diving so easy. Now, if you're doing a Tavua Island day cruise, sailing out on board one of the beautiful tall ships, Rama Rama, Spirit of the Pacific, or Fiji One, or you're doing a 3 to 11 night itinerary, staying aboard the 63-room Reef Endeavour, we can look after your testing requirements. So when you come on board, when you arrive in Fiji, because you're coming on board a cruise ship, it means that you have actually got the dispensation to be able to have your rapid test as soon as you arrive in the country. And that will then allow you to board the ship on day 2 of your visit, and be confident that you won't be confined to your cabin if you test positive for the full 3 to 11 night cruise. We operate some incredible itineraries. We depart from Port General, which is only 20 minutes drive from Nandi International Airport, and up through the Mamanuca and Yasawa Islands from 3 nights on a Saturday, 4 nights right to the north of the Isawa. And unfortunately, I'm not a diver, but the dive sites that everybody talks about probably are, there's supermarket, there's washing machine, there's incredible dive sites that you can do while you're on these 2 itineraries. Then once or twice a month, we go off to places that are quite unique and far more remote in Fiji. And the first one of those, of course, is the gorgeous Remote North Cruise. So we visit Levuka, the old capital, and there's some incredible dive sites just to the north of Ovalau on that itinerary. Makongai, which is now a research station, and clam farm up there. Sabu Sabu, the beautiful hot springs and pearl farms. And then, of course, over to Taveuni. And Taveuni, of course, is known as the soft coral capital of the world, and the beautiful Rainbow Reef and White Wall you can access from there. And then on the way back, of course, there's a stop in Nananui Ra. Simon would be very familiar with, gorgeous part of the world. And then, of course, we've got these 7 and 11 night Lao cruises. And we do have one more of the lovely 4 Cultures cruise, which circumnavigates Vanua Levu. So they're just a few of the itineraries that we offer. Incredible dive sites on all of them. And we do offer up to 3 dives every day. And whether it's the gorgeous Lao group or some of the other itineraries that we offer. So I thought I'd just quickly show the video while I finish up, because this one was taken while we were in the Lao group in April, so not that long ago. The ship's looking really great. So and this is, that's Falanga, which is one of the most amazing parts of the world, Canberra as well. And I think really, while we do offer up to 3 dives a day, and we do open water courses for 10 years and up, we can do the bubble maker. 12 years and up, we can do an open water course. And but we do have something for the partner to do. So if one dives and the other doesn't, of course, there's so many other activities that the partner can do while they're with us. And, you know, we have a fantastic platform on the back of the ship that you can see there that the dive tenders and glass bottom boats sit on. We have a marine biology program on board, and we have a full-time marine biologist who travels with us. Actually, in January, we've got a visiting scientist who'll be cruising with us as well and doing lectures from the Australian Museum. So there's always lots to learn with Captain Cook, and we do the PCR tests on return. That was the one thing I had to remember to do now. We can do a PCR test on board or a rapid test. So rest assured that we will be able to get you back home at the end of your cruise as well. But we do recommend scheduling one day at the end post-cruise, particularly on the remote cruises, because they will take a little bit longer just to process, because we won't be able to get them back on the ferry like we do with the Isawas. So thanks everyone, and sorry that was so fast. You can see my website there, investigate a little bit more, and by all means contact us on live chat or email if you'd like any more information.
Thanks, Jackie.
Stop sharing. Now, how do I do that from here?
Thanks, Jackie, for that great presentation. Simon and I have been on a couple of Captain Cook cruises, diving every day, and they're a wonderful experience, not just for the diving, but for the amazing crew and all of the other cultural experiences that you get to enjoy on those remote islands. I think I'll hand over now to Simon Doughty from Volivoli Beach Resort, and Simon will fill you in on where Volivoli is and what the diving's like, and tell you exactly how you transfer from the airport to Volivoli and the whole testing procedure that they've come up with to make it easy for you guys. Thank you, Simon.
Thanks, Deb. Bulla, everyone. I'm going to try and share my screen with you for a few moments. So I hope this sort of comes up okay. We're on a fairly tight schedule, so I'll give you a bit of a quick run through. I'm from Volivoli Beach Resort, and for us, we're on the most northern tip of the main island. So once you land in Nandi, you're there with us. You land where the blue arrow is. We're right at the top where that red arrow is. You don't have to wait for weather windows, domestic flights. You land, you're here, you're diving. This is our resort. We're on a beautiful headland. We have 33 rooms and villas. I'm going to go through pretty quick because everyone has a little time limit here. Resort is boutique. It's beautiful. It's a dive resort. We can cater for families, singles, couples. Obviously, dive groups is our main business. We have 2 restaurants. We have 3 bars on site, including a swim-up pool bar. We dive the Bly water. We dive it 365 days a year. It is Fiji's #1 dive region. It's where people come to dive, the soft coral capital of the world. We have over 80 dive sites, 80 dive sites in 5 different regions. So you'll do very well to manage to see all of those sites, but they're all magnificent, all beautiful. Some of the healthiest reefs you'll find on the planet. We also have 3 house reefs. The house reefs are macro. It's unlimited diving, free of charge on the house reef. You can dive it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're staying with us on a full dive package, you can dive it as much as you like. So lots of cool little critters, tons and tons of cool stuff. It's nice and shallow. You can dive these sites for an hour and a half to 2 hours at a time without any problem due to the nice easy depth. Lots of cool stuff. It is macro. We're a state-of-the-art dive shop. We just recently won the best dive resort in the South Pacific, so we're very, very happy with that. We have lots of dive cylinders, 250 dive cylinders, a range of sizes, great local crew, fantastic rental gear if you choose to use ours, but most people obviously bring their own. We can handle rebreathers, side mounts. We pump our own pure O2. Night dives, no problems. We're actually out right as we speak. We're out diving now. It's, what time is it? It's 7:30 at night here, and we've got one of our boats out presently. We have 5 purpose-built dive boats. They're big, they're fast, they're covered in. And as I said, these run the Bly water 365 days a year. Lots of cool things to do on land as well. If you're not diving or on your off-gas dive days. Nabalasiri waterfall, Fiji's biggest waterfall. We've got dolphins, we've got some hikes, we've got village tours. Really fun night, Thursday nights. Typically we run a traditional Fiji night with a meke and a lovo. This is not unique to us. This is something that all Fiji does. So I think wherever you went, you would experience something like this. So it's very, very good fun. Our team, we are 100% vaccinated, and we are sort of ready to go. So at the moment we're open. I'm just trying to go back to the big screen here. I'll stop sharing, correct? Okay, good. We've got guests in-house at the moment from United States, from Australia. We're very busy. It's going very well. I actually was out of the country myself for about 3 weeks, up until a week or so ago. I went to the United States, so I'm assuming most of our audience that I'm talking to are from Australia. But for me, it was very, very easy to get in. Very simple. As Salman mentioned earlier, be vaccinated, have the respective documents you need. It was a very, very easy process. And just like all the resorts and cruise ships talking to you tonight, we do rapid antigen testing and PCR testing on site. So literally, as I mentioned, land in Fiji. If you come to us, as an example, you can be diving that afternoon. In 2 days, we'll do an antigen test for you. And before you go back home, we'll do that within 3 days of you boarding the flight back home. You won't miss anything out. You won't miss out on an activity, diving, cocktails, swimming in the swimming pools, going to the beach, anything like that. So it's nice and easy. And I think that obviously is what we're trying to get across to everyone today from our entire group, that Fiji is easy to travel to. Very, very simple process. And I think I've run my time, Deb.
That's great. Thanks, Simon.
Thanks, guys.
I'll just get you to stop screen sharing.
Oh,
And-
sorry, sorry, my bad. Sorry. Apologies, stop share.
That's okay.
Sorry, guys, my bad.
Okay, cool. So now I'm going to hand over to Natalie Marletta, who is the General Manager of the Pearl Fiji, which is located in Pacific Harbour, the gateway to Benga Lagoon and Fiji's famous shark dives. There are 3 shark dives in Benga Lagoon and 2 operators based in Pacific Harbour. So I'm going to hand over to you, Natalie, to talk about Pacific Harbour and also about your Care Fiji commitment processes. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Deb. Bula, everyone. It's excited to be here tonight to present to you and tell you a little bit about Pacific Harbour. So we are located in the adventure capital of Fiji. So about a 2.5-hour drive along the beautiful Coral Coast from Nandi Airport, you come to Pacific Harbour. We arrange transfers for you with a CFC approved transfer operator. It's a gorgeous scenic drive. You go through the villages, you see the children playing. So it's a real experience in itself coming to us. We're situated on absolute beachfront, as you can see, surrounded by water. We have our very own marina. So it's very easy in the morning. You wake up, you have breakfast, you jump on the boat, and 20 minutes later, you're out in the water, swimming around and diving with all the beautiful creatures in the ocean there. We've got 2 swimming pools as well. We've just opened our adults only infinity pool, which is overlooking Benga. It's beautiful. Gorgeous views out to the islands from the rooms there. So we offer king rooms and twin rooms, and we can cater for families and groups. We have 210 rooms in total, so it's quite a large property, but it's situated on over 10 acres of land, so it's not cramped at all. You've still got room to move around and have your own space. We've got 6 restaurants and bars, from buffet restaurants to fine dining cuisine. There's something really for everyone. We cater for all dietary requirements as well. And of course, you're diving in the world famous Benga Lagoon. So we have a dive operator on site. We work with Aquatrek and Benga Adventure Divers. Aquatrek is based on site. So it's very convenient for your guests. You know, they get out of bed in the morning, the dive operator's right there. They on the boat at 8 o'clock and return at 12:30. With the testing requirements, we have a doctor, a full-time doctor on site, a medical clinic. So the rapid tests are done in 15 minutes. We offer a range of times throughout the day as well. So if your guests are diving and they're leaving early in the morning, we can do the test when they come back at lunchtime, or there is an option to do it in the afternoon also. The same with PCR. We have a lab that can do a turnaround time of 6 hours for PCR tests. So 3 days prior for Australia, but if any guests are flying out to the US, we do have a quick turnaround time for them. And it's been smooth sailing so far with testing. We've had every guest get their test results back in time, and all the guests happy. And you know that it's not really a problem and an inconvenience to have the guests tested as part of the CFC requirements. So I think your guests coming to Fiji are going to feel very safe, and you know, come here carefree on holiday. And as long as they're got all the requirements and the Care Fiji app, you know, it's a lovely destination over here, and I think your guests will be really, really happy. Thank you, Deb.
Thanks, Natalie. Thanks everyone. And I must say the shark diving and the soft coral diving in Benga Lagoon is spectacular. So when you're staying in Pacific Harbour, make sure you save some time for some coral diving as well as the famous shark diving. We're going to open up to questions now. If anyone's got any questions about anything, about diving, about entry requirements into Fiji, about testing. So we'll try and answer as many as we can live, but just type them into the Q&A section. And while we've got the panel here, we can answer them as best we can. Jackie, maybe while we're waiting for the questions, you could tell us a bit about the scientists that you have on board in January.
Oh, there's a good idea. Now, what's his name? Heavens above. Basically, he was with the Smithsonian, just while I look that up. He was with the Smithsonian and now he heads up the mammal research at the museum in Sydney. So he's a really accomplished scientist, and he'll be doing daily lectures while he's on board with us. And yeah, we're really excited to have him aboard. He's doing one of our Lao cruises. So 22nd of January for 7 nights around the Lao. And yeah, he's been asked on. Our current CEO, Alison Howarth, who happens to be my sister as well, she is on the board of the Lizard Island Research Station. So she managed to enlist him to come along. And now, here we go, here's his name, Professor Christopher M. Helgen.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And there's information about that on your website?
On the website, yeah, absolutely.
Just said. Somebody has asked the average cost per dive. That's a pretty hard question to answer because it varies. But Simon, do you want to?
I just typed an answer back to Eric there. For us, we are 1540 Fiji, which is about 1,000 Australian dollars. I'm assuming the audience, as I said earlier, is Australian, and that's for a 10 dive package on the boats. So that'd be 5 days diving the Bly water.
Yeah. And
we throw a bonus 2 dives in as well, so it ends up being 12 dives. And of course, on that package, they can dive unlimited on the 3 house reefs for as long and as many times as they like.
And our 10 dive package is $935, seeing we may as well compare apples with apples. We'd recommend the 10 dive package for the 7-night cruise.
Really, I think it's rather than looking at it on a per dive basis, you really should be looking at, you know, the whole package. I mean, you go in there for the whole happiness, not just for 10 dives. So look at some of the packages we've got on our specials page. You know, there's different kinds of diving resorts, liveaboards. See what suits you. It's not really down to a dollar price.
Well, no, because a lot of the resorts are remote, and of course, with a cruise as well, there are meals involved. There are meals included in your package price. There are airport transfers included in your package price. Many resorts like the Pearl and Volivoli include traditional Meke and Lovo feast, and the packages always have. It's always better value than, you know, just booking it per night and per dive. It's definitely makes much more sense to book your dives in advance as part of a package. Jackie, there's a question here about the wreck at Tavua Island.
Yeah, I just typed. It's basically on the edge of the reef of off Tavua, and it's in 22 meters of water, and there's some incredible things down there that we've seen. These fantastic cigar thingamajiggies, and I should know all the names of these things, but yeah, the fish life and the coral that's attached itself to the wreck is just amazing. So the Rayawa was a pilot boat that the ports were decommissioning. We cleaned her up really, really well and sank her in the 22 meters just on the edge of the reef. So she's such an adventurous dive. It's fantastic.
There's another question here about COVID cancellation policies when it comes to border closures. I know that these vary for everyone, but I must say that most of the, well, all really of the Fiji operators that we've been working with have been very flexible about COVID cancellations and will offer unlimited credit. You know, so that you're not constrained by a time frame to use that credit. There are also quite small deposits required for dive trips, and everyone is working very hard to be as flexible as they can in these difficult times. So and you know, and we do currently have lots of bookings sitting in limbo at the moment, and everyone's doing their best to make sure that those come to fruition at some point in the near future.
Yeah, it's been great seeing the credits come back. You know, people, I think I rebooked about 5 or 6 people today, because of course we're all on skeleton staff still, just sort of edging back in. So I do everything still. It's fantastic. And talking to people who've had money with us for 2 years and now they're going, I can go. There's just so much enthusiasm. It's wonderful.
I know, it's great. It's very emotional. I watched the video of that first flight arriving, and it made me teary. Not even in Fiji.
We had all our staff actually, like the first arrival that came, the staff were in tears welcoming the guests. Like it just meant so much to, you know, the team to have international guests back again. It was a really special moment. And this elderly couple came out of the car and saw all my team just with tears, you know, happy tears, but they must have got a shock thinking, wow, you know, we're arriving here. And it just meant so much to the staff and to the entire country, I think. And it's still on a high. We're still, you know, every guest that comes in, it's been incredible. They're really feeling it as well.
Fantastic. I can't wait to get over myself. Simon, you're heading over this week.
Saturday. Whoa. Can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. 2 weeks of happiness. Yes. After 2 weeks of misery, it's going to be good. I cannot wait to get off that plane.
So it looks like most questions have been answered. Just to let everyone know that we have been recording the session, and we'll share the link to everybody on the website and on our Facebook page. So to anyone that missed the start, or to anyone that didn't manage to make it tonight, we'll make that available for everybody to watch. And if you do have any questions that we haven't managed to get to tonight, then feel free to message us on the Facebook page or email us inquiries@diversiondivetravel.com.au. We'll send everybody who registered a link, and we'll send them information on how they can get in touch with us to find out more. All of these dive destinations you can book with us at Diveplanit, of course, and we'll always endeavour to get the best rates for you. With Volivoli and the Pearl and Captain Cook and all of the other resorts have some wonderful deals at the moment, but they are booking up very fast, I must say. So, which is fantastic to see. It's yeah, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's very bright at the moment. So I'm just going to finish up by thanking all of our panelists for taking part tonight and sharing their Fiji stories. And hopefully all of you can join us one day in Fiji for the wonderful diving that they have there.
Yep. Sorry guys, if I've missed out on anything, let me know if you guys have any questions. My internet was a bit choppy earlier.
That's fine. I think we're all good. So thank you so much, Salman, and thank you to Tourism Fiji as well for doing such an amazing job at opening Fiji back up to the world. So
Thanks guys. We can't wait to have you guys back in Fiji because this is where happiness finds you all.
thank you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Manaka.
See you in Fiji.
Take care guys. See you guys soon.